Very good. So welcome, Shireen, Ben. Thank you so much, Om Shanti. We really appreciate you taking out the time always, and we look forward to your class. Thank you so much for coming.
I want us to have a few minutes of remembrance, and I was thinking if we could play a song, or I can play a song if I am should I play a song?
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है। ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है। आपकी शिक्षाएं बाबा हमको लगती प्यारी है, लगती प्यारी है। ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है। ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है। मन आनंदित करती है। पावनता की खुशबू मन का सुख शांति से भरती है। मीठी मुरली की धुन मेरा मन आनंदित करती है। पावनता की खुशबू मन को सुख शांति से भरती है। ज्ञान सूर्य की किरणों से हुई बगिया उजियारी है, बगिया उजियारी है। ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है, ज्ञान के चंदन से महकी जीवन फुलवारी है। पुलकित हो गया दिल आपसे जब हम मिले, शीतल शीतल नयन हो गए, शांति के तब फूल खिले। पुलकित पुलकित हो गया दिल आपसे जब हम मिले, शीतल शीतल नयन हो गए, शांति के तब फूल खिले।
Om Shanti. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Good evening, good afternoon, angels. How are you doing?
Wow, it was so hot here and suddenly it's raining and storming and it's like beautiful. Feeling very elated. You know, they say when it rains, it gives you that, I think, vibrations which are very, very elevated. To me, it feels like that.
Right. So we have Baba's lovely Murli, and the Murli that I wanted to revisit is the Murli of the 8th of July. And the reason why I wanted to revisit the Murli of the 8th of July is because of our last session on karma. And many of you had many questions and I didn't finish answering all of them. So I don't remember the questions. So if you do remember, you can ask again. But I do want to go into the Murli. And one of the things we have to remember about Baba's Murli is that the Baba is speaking to now at least 1 million Baba's children. That's how many souls on a regular basis listen to the Murli. And so Baba speaks to every one of us in the Murli, every one of us. And so on many levels, the Murli works. So Baba is talking to these 1 million souls. And then Baba is giving a solution to something that is going on in everyone's life, current solution. Not just Baba spoke this 50 years ago, so he's talking to people 50 years ago, but currently everyone will get a solution to, if you ask a question, you will get a solution to what's happening in your life currently right now. And so I always feel that Murli is a living document. And so that is happening because it's a living document, it is current, it is real, it's happening in real time. So if you listen, you pick up any Murli, that's the solution that Baba is giving you at that point. And so on one level, he's talking to 1 million of his children. And remember, he's not talking to the whole world. He's only talking to his children. And on the second level, he is giving a solution to all our problems. On the third level, he is giving us deep insights into Gyan, because Sakar Murlis are the source document. The source document means it's the original. It's where it's the document that Brahma Baba left, and we are Brahma Kumaris, so that is really the source document, the source knowledge. You know, if you have any questions, anything about knowledge, Baba will answer in the Murli. And so on superficial level, it sounds very simple, but to really understand the Sakar Murlis, you have to be able to go deeper to see how it really is the source knowledge. And so that's something that we really have to understand about Baba, is the source knowledge. And on another level, which we will stop at this level, maybe pick up other levels later on. But on another level, Baba is also encouraging us. He is asking us, he is encouraging us to go as high as his vision for us. And so if you leave it up to us, if you leave it up to us, when I first came to Baba and you left it up to me, I would have never said, Baba, I want to become a deity, because that was just not part of my vision for myself. I wanted him, but I never thought I would become a deity. But he said, no, you can become a deity, and this is how you have to become a deity, and this is what you're going to do to become a deity. And I feel that is the highest, absolutely the highest thing that Baba can do for you, is the highest, that's the vision he has for you. And I always feel that one of the things is Baba is the mother in my life, and I really love that relationship as father, but also as a mother in my life. Because as a mother, and many of you are mothers, and so you would know that one of the things for your children is the vision you have for your children. Whatever anyone else can say about your child, your vision for that child is always perfect. You never think when they were born, oh, they should have been like this, or they should have been like this. No, everything about the child was complete and perfect. They were beautiful the way they were. And so that is how Baba sees us. He sees us in this complete and perfect vision, especially as the spiritual mother. There's complete, like, he doesn't feel like there's anything lacking in us. And you see that vision so clearly in the beginning of Avyakta Murlis, the vision that Baba has for us. And so there has to be someone in our life who has that vision for ourselves, that you as a soul is enough. You as a soul I don't need anything else from you. I just want you as a soul, and I have that vision for you as a soul, and I have that love for you as a soul. And Baba says all the time, however you are, whatever you are, you're mine, because Baba's vision is like that. So you are as a soul complete in his eyes, so he's always having this very, very high vision for you. And that is the vision of a mother. And I feel everyone in the world needs someone who has an altruistic vision, who doesn't need anything from you. So one of the things you have to remember about Baba is he doesn't really need anything from you. If he's telling you something, he's only telling you because he wants you to live up to this vision he has for you. Because he knows your capacity. He knows that this is what you can do and this is what you can become. So if Baba says something in the Murli, and like I said, we will stop at that level. And so if Baba says something in the Murli and we are not able to follow, we shouldn't be too worried about it. Just keep remembering, this is the vision Baba has for me. This is the vision Baba has for me. I just want you to remember that Baba, as a spiritual mother, his love is so pure, his love is so altruistic, that whatever you know, whatever the child does, you know, there is this feeling of my precious child. And so that is the vision Baba has for you, that you're his precious child, or her precious child, because he's the mother now. And so I want you to remember that about Baba. And so at the end, when Baba says, sweet children, long lost and now found children, love and remembrance from the mother and the father, what he's really telling you is his first vision on you is as a mother and then as a father. So that's what he's really telling you, is my vision for you is as a mother. And as a mother, and then as a father, I'm giving you guidance, and as a mother, I'm giving you love, and I'm giving you this, you know, this holistic thing about yourself. And that is why, you know, Baba always says that, you know, I'm the true bridegroom, I am the true mother, I'm the true guru, all of those things. So what that exactly means is that it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, let's take a true lover, right? So you see lovers, they really love each other because of the body mostly. You know, nowadays you see like Hindi movies or something, you know, how beautiful that person is. Inherently, you know, that's why the love is. So let's say there is this young man and this young woman, and they're totally in love with each other, right? If either the woman was very old and ugly and whatever, would the young man be in love with the girl? Or if this man was very old and ugly and, you know, whatever, would the girl be in love with the man? But in Baba's case, it doesn't matter how old you are, how ugly you are, what age you are, what nationality you are, what gender you are, what religion you are. The way you are, Baba loves you. However you are, whatever you are, Baba loves you. And that is why Baba says, I'm the true lover, I'm the true mother, I'm the true guru, I'm the true father. And so when we are listening to Baba and Baba's Murli, I want us to remember that yes, he has a very high vision for us. And yes, it is, you know, sometimes feel a little abrupt, maybe because of the way he talks in the Murli. But his vision, no one can replace Baba's vision for us. No one can replace. That is why Baba says his love is so true. I don't want to use the word unconditional because that's a double negative. And I don't think we should talk in double negatives when it comes to Baba. And so that true, pure love, that altruistic love, is really, there is only one soul in the entire universe that can have that for us. And so in this Murli, I want to revisit the Murli of the 8th of July. Because the last time we spoke about karma philosophy. And I want us to feel like we are I'm just getting a message that there is a fan noise. Hold on, let me switch off the fan. Give me a second. I just saw that. Hold on 1 minute. Is there still a lot of noise?
Shireen Ben, I think it should be okay. I don't want you to be hot without a fan.
Yeah, you know,
yeah, it doesn't matter. A little bit of air noise from your end is not a problem, please.
Yeah, we can still hear you clearly, Didi.
Oh.
It's
So,
like,
yeah,
so
anyway, I put the AC on a little lower and so this area is very big, and so it doesn't get cool enough. Um, so, um, so I want us to keep that in mind. I want you to listen to this Murli. The few points I'm going to highlight. I want you to listen to this Murli. If someone who really, really loves you is talking to you, and so even if it feels like they are giving you a correction, I want you to remember that correction is your protection. Don't feel like Baba's correction is bad, but it's really your protection. And so the first thing I want to highlight in the Murli, several things, because it's on karma. The whole Murli is on karma. Whatever actions human beings perform, they definitely receive the return of them, whether good or bad, according to the drama. And so what that means is that it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, which country you are, which tribe you live in, you know, if you're in an uncontacted tribe in the Amazon, it doesn't matter. We all have, karma is universal and karma is real. That means we cannot escape it. We will all receive the good or the bad return of every action we do. And so Baba is especially talking about being Jani Jananhar. And that's something we have to understand. So Jani Jananhar means that Baba knows all the secrets within. Jani Jananhar means like someone who knows something inside your Jan, inside your heart. And so Baba is saying, so there's one extreme, right? One extreme is Baba knows everything anyway. And the other extreme is Baba doesn't know anything. We shouldn't go to two extremes. Of course, Baba knows our heart, but also we can't do whatever we want and say, oh, Baba knows anyway, right? We can't do that. We cannot go to either extremes. And I feel that is the beauty of Baba's knowledge. In any situation, no, you can't go to either extreme. You have to be able to follow something and follow by really understanding the implications of both extremes. And so whatever actions human beings perform, they definitely receive the return of it. It's not like we do whatever we want and say Baba knows anyway, right? And the important thing that Baba is saying here is you have to confess your sins of this birth. And so whatever sins you have committed, and sins, the way Baba defines sins is, you could say, your debt, right? I really prefer to use the word debt, karmic debt. And anything that you have done in this life based on any body conscious vices, right? Out of anger or ego or greed or lust or attachment. If you've done anything based on these 5 vices, then to tell Baba about it. To be really honest and tell Baba about it. Because if you tell Baba, what Baba says is the karmic accounts are very, very strange in this way, is mostly 99% of the time you have to settle your karmic accounts. You can't escape. But because of the honesty, if you are able to tell Baba, write a letter to Baba of the karmic account, the debt you have done in this life, then Baba will forgive half of just this life, okay? The other lives we still have to take into account and we still have to settle. And so that one. So the main thing is to become pure. The study is very easy, but you have to make effort as to how to remove the burden of sins. Sins, this is another important aspect of karma. Sins or debt cannot be erased by giving knowledge to others. Only by having yoga can sins be erased. That's a very, very important point to remember. Only by having yoga can sins be erased. First of all, make full effort for yoga. for only then will the arrow strike someone. And so that purity, there has to be power in the arrow, right? There has to be the strength of that arrow really depends on how much yoga I am having. And this is the important part about the debt. They are the sins of many lives. So we have an accumulation of sins of the last 63 lives, right? Some we settled, some we didn't settle, but now we have a debt of everything we didn't settle. But the other important thing we have to remember is after coming to Baba, the debt or the sins that are committed now become much greater than the sins of many previous lives. And so that is something we have to remember, is not to create more karmic account, not to create new bondages, and definitely not to commit any more sin, the major ones. So don't commit any more sin. And so because the accumulation after knowledge, so Baba, the return that we get from Baba is the a thousandfold return of good and bad. So that is the law, that is the investment, and that is the return we get, thousandfold return. And so if I am committing, if after coming to Baba, if I am doing something which is in body consciousness, then that return is also that much because my understanding is accordingly. So we have to remember that, and we have to take into that account that. And again, I want you to really listen to this, like Baba as this altruistic, pure, true mother is telling the child. So the main thing is to become pure by having remembrance. The more you remember the Father, the more you will be absolved of your sins or absolved of your debt. Don't think that the Father knows everything, that this one is remembering me a great deal or that one is remembering me very little. Each of you has to look at your chart. And so this is some very important thing Baba is telling us here. So don't think that the Baba knows everything anyway, that this one is remembering me a great deal or that one is remembering very, very little. What Baba is sharing here is that he's not micromanaging our lives. He doesn't have this little thing and he says, oh, this is happening and this is what this girl is doing, that's what that boy is doing, that's what my child is doing. This. No, he doesn't do that. It is, the onus is on us, the responsibility is on us to make effort to remember Baba, whatever it is, he'll tell us, but afterwards the responsibility is on us. And that is something we have to really deeply, deeply understand. If I do something, I'm doing it for myself. And the other thing we have to deeply understand is that every relationship we have is really just from this life, right? And even let's say we take the copper and iron ages, we've had 63 relationships like we are having in this life. And if we get caught up in this life relationship and forget that we have accumulated something for so many lives, it is not very good. We have to become very sensible about this. And we have to remember that whatever happens with people may come and people may go, but I will always be with myself. Throughout the cycle, the one person that I will always be is myself. And you have to really give that importance to yourself. Don't take support and don't use the relationships you have in this life as an excuse for not doing something Baba is asking us to do. Because everything I do, not what I plan, but what I do, everything I do, I will receive the reward of that. So it isn't that you and the other person will be absolved of sin by your relating knowledge to him. No. Only when you stay in remembrance yourself can your sins be cut away. And this, again, Baba is emphasizing something here. If you remember Baba, you become pure. What does Baba have to do with that? Would Baba say, well done to you? Many children say, I constantly remember the Father. Who else do I have apart from him? They continue to tell lies in this way. A lot of effort is required for remembrance. Never think that Baba knows everything. Why would Baba need to know anything? Those who do something receive the reward of that. And so this, I feel many times, lack of self-respect, lack of self-worth. We want validation from people. You know, I want validation, saying, oh, Baba said you're doing good or whatever. But I have to be self-sufficient here. I have to be a self-sovereign. And I have to feel that I am doing this for myself. Because the most important thing about the congruence age is self-realization, and I have to be in a relationship with myself. Just remember this one thing from today's session. I have to be in a relationship with myself throughout the cycle. Every other relationship comes and goes, but I have to be in a relationship with myself throughout the cycle. And so I have to become soul conscious. I have to know myself accordingly. I have to do all of those things. So you have to become soul conscious. Even while living at home, you have to consider this world and your body to be old. And so old world, old body, and move on. And this is something else that Baba shares. Some children ask Baba, Baba, I have the habit of donating, right? Baba, I have the habit of donating. What should I do now that I'm on the path of knowledge? Baba advises you, children, there are many others who will continue to donate to the poor. Therefore, your intellect should be removed from all of those things. You need to be very cautious about giving donations, especially giving donations to souls that are not. They are going to misuse your funds. Because if you give souls that misuse your wealth, this is a very deep aspect of karma. If you give to souls that are going to misuse, then that misuse will come, the slight account will come on you also. Of course, it will come on the person who's misused it, but also on you. So that's why you have to be very, very careful. Again, Baba goes back to no one can receive a status just by explaining or giving knowledge to others. First of all, you have to become pure from impure. Whatever you do, you receive the reward of that. So just remember this, whatever we do, we receive the reward of that. So we'll take a small break here and see if any of you have any questions.
Shireen, there's a question on the chat, and Indravardhan Bhai Ji is saying, can you explain again the word unconditional, why it is double negative? I thought that God, Guru, Saints, Baba love you unconditionally no matter who you are.
So conditional, no? If you think about conditional, conditions means negative, right? If you're saying someone has conditions, or the soul is conditioned, we always say the soul is conditioned, or someone has conditions, there's strings attached. So that's a negative for sure. And again is a negative. So that's why we call it a double negative. So when we are referring to Baba, who's very, very, very pure, we can't refer to him in double negative. We can't say Baba is not impure, right? That's what unconditional means, not impure, because conditions means negative and un means negative, so that's a double negative. And so we can't say, oh, Baba, you're not impure, right? What we say is, Baba, you're so pure. So the best way to describe Baba's love is altruistic, generous, pure, um, ocean of love. So real. So all of these are ways to describe Baba's love, which you don't have to use. It's a language thing. You don't have to use double negatives in it. Is that clear?
Very nice. Thank you. Anyone has any other questions? You can unmute your mic and ask, or you can write it on chat, please.
Okay. So I have a question for you. Let's move on. Actually, I have a few more things in the Murli that we need to, right? And then we'll ask the question. So whatever you do, you receive the reward of that. So just remember that. Two things I want you to remember from this Murli. I have to be in a relationship with myself, and that is one of the most important relationships because I don't have to please other people. I have to be nice, loving, and detached with everyone, right? I'm not saying be nasty to people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that more than anyone else in the whole cycle, you're with yourself. And so take yourself very seriously. You know, give yourself, see what you're thinking. Why are you thinking? What do I want? All of those things we have to think. We have to look at ourselves. We have to sit quietly and see, what is it this I want? You know, why am I thinking this way? What is my karma like? All of that is something very seriously we have to think, because this is the time. If we don't think now, then when are we going to do it? Because this is the time Baba really given us, told us who we are and told us how we should interact with ourselves. So that is the first interaction, is with ourselves. And so even if many times there was recently something happened and I felt someone was scolding me, and maybe they weren't, but I felt that. And I immediately looked at myself and I said, do I scold myself? How do I talk to myself? I'm not liking this person scolding me, but am I scolding myself? Am I talking to myself that way? And then I was beginning to notice very subtly, if I don't make enough effort, you know, how strong I get with myself and stuff like that. And so you have to be very cautious. You have to be very cautious about how you're talking to yourself, how much time you're spending with yourself, the karmas you're creating, who you're spending time with, who do you want to please, all of that, because you have to live with yourself. And so whatever you do, you receive the reward of that. And there's something else that Baba talks here. With the power of yoga, you gain victory over the whole world. With knowledge, you claim a high status in the new world. You come here to change from ordinary humans into Narayan. So this school really is the highest school. No one except Baba, you can go anywhere in the world. No one except Baba can change a human being into Narayan. No one can do it. The aim that Baba gives us is, whatever we came, you know, however, I didn't come here thinking, oh, I want to become a deity. However, I came as the perfect mother, as the altruistic mother, as the generous mother, as a mother that has the highest vision for you. The mother, the Supreme Soul, is saying, you can become from an ordinary man, ordinary woman, into Narayan or Lakshmi. You can do this. The Father says, I have come to show you the way to become pure. I see everything as the detached observer. That is something, we'll end with that. I'll come back to that. I see everything as a detached observer. This is Baba talking in first person. Shiv Baba is saying, I see everything as a detached observer. And then the last bit, it will be too late because the haystack will be set on fire and then you will be unable to stay in yoga. At that time, there will be very many cries of distress. Mountains of great sorrow are yet to fall. Don't waste your money. Never give donations to impure ones who are not worthy of receiving them. It isn't that you have to go out and beat drums saying that God has come. There are many people in Bharat who call themselves God. No one would believe you. And so let's end with that. That when Baba says, when Baba says service means, doesn't we go out and say, oh, God is here, because our whole being should serve. The way we are, our being should serve. And so that's a very important aspect. And the other thing, that the secret that Baba gave us today is Shiv Baba, the Supreme Soul, he gave us so much, in this Murli. There's so many deep things that Baba gave us. He says, I want you to follow this, I want you to do that, don't give donations to impure souls, all of that. He tells all of that. And then, if I am not doing some of the things, he's very loving and detached. He watches as a detached observer. And so I want us to remember Baba just for 2 minutes. Let's just break for 2 minutes. And I want us to see the way Baba is seeing us. You look at Baba and you see how very loving and detached he is watching us, watching you, the soul. Okay? So let's just take a minute and see how Baba. So if you want to visualize Baba in the soul world, that's fine. In this particular case, if it's easier, I want you to really see Shiv Baba in the body of Avyakt Brahma Baba in the subtle regions. So there are two souls there in the body of Avyakt Brahma Baba. And Baba is watching you from there. He's being very loving. He's given you all of these teachings. And also he's being very detached. He has no emotions invested. It's not like he's going to get upset if you don't do it. But he's there. And if I follow his directions, he is going to really know my heart. He will fulfill the desires of my heart if I follow what he's asking me to do. If I don't, that's fine. We should do as much as we can. And Baba is there to help us, guide us. His vision for me is very, very pure. He sees me as a deity soul, as a soul that was pure and perfect and complete in every way. And finally, he's watching me as a detached observer. Om Shanti. So angels, any questions?
Om Shanti, Shireen Ben.
Om Shanti.
Thank you so very much. This was beautiful, and it really answered a lot of my, what was going on in my head. One question I have for you. So you said Baba is a detached observer, which is beautiful. The visual we got through the yoga was very nice too. But I see Baba as my constant companion, and I want him to be not detached and be helpful, right? So help me when Maya challenges our convictions. I want Baba to be right there with me, helping me. So when I think of him as a detached observer, it becomes a little bit harder to say, okay, you're right here with me.
No, we have to understand one thing here. Detached observer doesn't mean loving. Baba is that perfect balance of loving and detached. Perfect balance. And so detached observer, what you're understanding when I say detached observer, when Baba says, because I didn't say, Baba said, when Baba says detached observer, he's not saying indifferent. Remember, it's very different. I'm thinking indifferent, you're thinking indifferent, but Baba is saying that he is not emotionally so invested that he gets upset. It's like that perfect love where he can be loving and he can keep holding that vision for you, whatever it is, that whatever you do, that he keeps holding that vision for you. But he's never indifferent. He's never indifferent. But he's detached. Detached means he's able to see you for who you are. He's able to see what's going on with you. He's not getting entangled in any way. He's not getting upset about what you're doing. So all of that means detached. Detached observer means all of that. It doesn't mean indifference. And so he is our companion. You know, Baba always says Sati and Sakshi, right? He always says Sati and Sakshi. Sati is companion, Sakshi is witness. So he's witnessing, but also he is our companion. And so Baba, that's the thing about pure love, no? We have to understand pure love, because our understanding of love has become very tainted, with the vices. And we have to understand love in its really purest form. And Baba has that love for us in its purest form. There's no vice at all in that.
Very nice. Thank you.
That is what it should be, what we should have. That should be our aim. I have to be like Baba. Even in today's Murli, in the Abhyakt Murli today, Baba said something. I don't have the Murli here with me. In the Abhyakt Murli, he was saying that about the responsibility of love, when he was really talking about double light, you know? That Baba is everything for us and we are everything for Baba. But when I am detached from the work I do, when I don't feel it's my I and mine, you know, when he was talking about I and mine, then even I am loving to Baba and detached from everyone else. And so detachment means Baba doesn't have any feeling of I and mine. He doesn't have any arrogance of the body, all of those things.
Very beautiful. Anyone else has any questions? Kishore Bhai, do you have a question? I see your mic mute.
Yeah, I'm glad to recognize. I had a question and I was kind of backed off, but it's a question regarding the karma. My understanding that every act has a equal and opposite reaction, good or bad. But then in this Murli, Baba says that when you remember him, your sin will be dissolved. So then how these actions or the suffering or pleasure, we responded.
Right. So they are in the past, a couple of weeks ago, I thought I mentioned this, but you must not have been here. So I'll explain it again. So there are three levels of interaction. There's interaction between human beings and human beings. There's interaction between human beings and the Supreme Soul. And then there's interaction between human being and matter. And so we won't talk about interaction between human being and matter right now because we don't have time, but we'll talk about interaction between human being and human being. So when as a human soul to human soul, if I'm having interaction between human soul to a human soul, then the law of karma is different. And the law of karma, interaction between human soul to human soul, is 1:1. I do one good action comes back to me, equal and opposite. I do one bad action comes back to me. And that is the interaction between human souls and human souls. And that is the law that governs karma between human souls. But the law that governs karma between human soul and God, the first thing is individually. You can't interact with God on anyone else's behalf. You have to do it individually for you and the Supreme Soul. That's one thing. And the second thing, the law of karma between human soul and God is very different. With God, and that is why the importance of God right now, the importance of the Supreme Soul right now, because the law of karma is so different. First, you do one good, and Baba will give you 1,000-fold return back. That's one. And the other thing is, because Baba is so pure, he's the purest soul in the entire universe. When I remember Baba, that my karma, my karmic debt that I had with other human souls, the karmic debt I created because of the body and everything else that I did with the body, everything, the Supreme Soul is so pure that the Supreme Soul is able to wipe that debt out. And so it's a very different interaction. You know, it's like if we talk about, let's say one bank is giving 1% interest and one bank is giving 1,000% interest. And so the bank that is giving 1,000% interest right now is Baba's bank, Baba the Supreme Soul, and the 1% interest is the bank of human souls to human souls. And because of the purity of the Supreme Soul is very, very pure, absolutely pure. And not to underestimate that purity, to really see that purity, to feel that purity, to really connect with that.
Thank you, sister. Appreciate that, friends. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Anyone else has any questions? Okay, good. So the time is almost up, and you know, we feel very fortunate that we are with a banker who gives us multi-million times. Feel very fortunate, and fortunate that Sister Shireen takes out the time and makes the Murli clear for us, you know, the concepts and everything. So thank you, our sweet angel. And we will see you again on Sunday. We can remember Baba if you want to play a song.
I could play a song. Let's see. And where are you? I can't find it. Ah. This one we'll play. प्रेम से बस दो घड़ी प्रभु का ध्यान कीजिए। प्रेम से बस दो घड़ी प्रभु का ध्यान कीजिए। प्रभु का ध्यान कीजिए। प्रेम से बस दो घड़ी प्रभु का ध्यान कीजिए। अपनी अंतर आत्मा को शांति से भर लीजिए। शांति से भर लीजिए। मानव जीवन में जैसे सत्कर्म का ज्ञान जरूरी है। हर कर्म से पहले प्यारे प्रभु का वैसे ध्यान जरूरी है। अपने दिल के दामन को आनंद से भर लीजिए। आनंद से भर लीजिए। प्रेम से बस दो घड़ी। जीवन की अनमोल घड़ियां यूं ही बीत ना जाए कहीं। मायावी जंजीरें मन को आकर्षित कर पाए नहीं। दीप जलाकर ज्ञान का मन को रोशन कीजिए। मन को रोशन कीजिए। प्रेम से बस दो घड़ी प्रभु का ध्यान कीजिए। अपनी अंतर आत्मा को शांति से भर लीजिए। शांति से भर लीजिए। प्रेम से बस दो घड़ी।
That was a beautiful song. Thank you very much, Shireen Ben. Really appreciate your time again. Always joy to see this beautiful angel smiling right in front of us. And you have the most wonderful day, and also the attendees, all of Baba's children here, have a wonderful day with Baba. We will see you again next Sunday for this class. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you.